So this one's gonna be about, Stoicism again. A very, very, very beautiful book, in my point of view. But yeah. But yeah. Yeah, and with that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. As you can tell, I'm not at home. And as you might can tell, it is pretty fucking early in the morning, which is not that bad, I pretty much liked it. I really liked it. It is currently 7:30. Do gonna take some time for doing this. Pretty grateful, to be honest, that I'm able to actually produce an episode today. Even though I do just have to hurry then up a little bit with the posts. But yeah, I should actually try to not breathe into the microphone as badly as I am doing right now. Well, yeah. I think we'll just go ahead with The Guide to a Good Life, or A Guide to a Good Life by William Irvine, or Irvine. I don't actually know, I'm really not sure. But we're going ahead with Stoic Advice, and I assume that this is going to be just a pretty good category or just part of this whole summary, even though fortunately this summary is going on a little bit further, like there's just something left and there's something we can go through, which is amazing because I pretty much like this singular summary. So Stoic Advice on loving mankind. Other people are the cause of most of the negative emotions we experience, which is actually the truth, I would say in general, which is actually pretty much bad. But I guess that they just have some sort of way to think around it, because I do just have to say, in their philosophy, it is just pretty much only about thinking and ways to think and how to think and whatsoever, which is pretty good, because in my point of view, it just really starts with how you think about things, even though a situation might be fucked up, even though a situation might not be that good, it just, truly comes up to how you think about it. If you think about it as it being bad and it being just, really kind of fucked up, of course, it's going to be fucked up and bad. But if you think about it in a different way, it's not going to be so bad. It just really either ends or starts. It depends on how you think about it, with how you're thinking about those things. And So they are also the source of some of the greatest delights life has to offer, such as love and friendship. And by working with and for our fellow man, as Marcus Aurelius said, we will enjoy a good life. And by working with and for our fellow man, as Marcus Aurelius said, we will enjoy a good life. Which is actually pretty true. And I'm very sorry to not show you. By the way, if you are on a podcast, then there's also a video version of this singular episode. So please check it out. You're going to benefit from it in terms of actually you being able to see the text, you reading along with me, the text, and you seeing me, which might be good or might be bad. I don't know. And if you're on the video, there's also the podcast version. For all those people that are actually willing to save some time, it is pretty good. I would say it is really good if you wanna save some time, because you can just be on a go. It is available on just all the most common, I guess, platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and whatever it is, which is fine, which is beautiful. But yeah, something that I have to say too, that is, or in terms of that actually, is it is particularly true, because the thing pretty much is, and I'm just thinking about actually plugging in my fucking PC, because I just really should do it, because I only have 29% left, and also having some sort of a light somehow. Let me see. I don't know. I do really believe in the fact that just people around you matter a lot, in terms of just your character, in terms of how you feel, in terms of a lot of things, which might or might not be good. This is the point there, The thing is, I've seen in the past days where I've just been quite overwhelmed, to be honest, because I just pretty much forced myself to record 2 episodes, to just push out as much content as I possibly can, which is good, which is good in terms of the whole YouTube game, which I'm just pretty much way more enjoying right now after just not having the most stressful day and just actually kind of seeing it as my choice, seeing it as my art, seeing it as something that I love to do and something that I just like to do. It's just something different recording an episode when you're not stressed out, when you're just pretty grateful that you are able to record an episode or to record something, to do your art just because you thought like, maybe I'm not able to do that. So yeah, I pretty much believe, and now there's a light, yeah. I pretty much believe that the people around you really fucking matter. Sometimes I think it's just insane. They just matter so much. Whether you like it or not. Just there's nothing to debate about that, I guess. But they just really fucking matter. They really matter. But something that I've seen is I was quite overwhelmed by just how much I wanted to do, and by that, by just trying to just push everything into one fucking day. I've seen like that. First of all, just having people around you and just meeting with people and just interacting with people is one of the best ways to actually kind of, solve this problem or whatsoever. And second of all, of course, something that I've been talking about, changing up patterns, which means, okay, you're not going to sit at home all day long as you usually do, but you're just doing something different. You're going outside. When you feel this certain feeling, you're just doing some sports. When you're feeling this certain feeling, and those things. Just trying to do something different, trying to, to just change up your patterns and change up what you're doing to actually also break the pattern of you feeling bad, because it definitely is a pattern, or there maybe is a pattern, which you can definitely also notice. If you just see like, okay, every time when you're doing this and that, you're getting very fucking angry, maybe you should change it up, at least to such a degree that you're not getting angry again. But yeah, my PC is fucking loud. Trying to quit some of the tasks that I'm open here. Maybe this should make it better. I would like to actually step back a little bit. But the thing is, I'm a little bit concerned that I don't know what I'm concerned about. On dealing with people, another point, Seneca advises us to generally avoid people who find pleasure in every opportunity for complaint, because they are a foe to tranquility. What does foe mean? They are foe to tranquility. Enemy, adversary, opponent, rival, and whatsoever. Yet, when we find ourselves irritated by someone's words, we should pause to reflect on our own shortcomings, so we can become more empathetic to this individual's faults and therefore become more tolerant of them. I do just really love the way they're thinking, the way they're interacting with people, the way they're just living life. It's just amazing. It is really just based on feeling good, seeing good in life, at my point of view, but also not just in a way, at least I feel like this way, they just think about life as being as something just, pretty good and whatsoever, but not just in a cynical way, or not in a way that is just delusional or something like this. They're just still staying a little realistic. At least I feel the way. I don't know how you're feeling about it, but it would be nice to know. Just hit me up on Instagram and all the various other platforms, and text me. It would be really amazing. I would just really appreciate it. Let's actually move on with the next point. On putting up with put-downs. When insulted, pause to consider whether what the insulter said is true. If it is, there is a little reason to be upset with what is self-evident. For example, it is not an insult if someone mocks you for being bad, or bald, or bald. Is it bold or bald? It just means hairless. It is actually bold. I always thought you're writing this with a O, so B-O-L-D, but apparently it is not the case. So when in fact you are bold. So how should you deal with an insult aiming to upset you? Laughing it off implies you don't take the insulter and their insult seriously. Refusing to respond to the insult is probably the most effective way. Both responses will likely deeply frustrate the insulter. Which is something that I understand that they are not aiming for. I do not think that they're actually aiming for frustrating the insulter or just letting him or her feel bad. But the thing is, actually saying nothing and laughing about it is, I think, truly a good way to do so. Yeah, I do believe that it is just a really great way to, well, not to do something bad for the insulter, but actually dealing with it, I guess. And well, I do just really understand if somebody's telling you or saying to you that you're bold and whatever, and you in fact bold, it's not really an insult. Like it's just really like some obvious shit they're just pointing out, I guess. On vanquishing tears with reason. To minimize the amount of grief they experience in life, Stoics engage in prospective negative visualizations. By contemplating the deaths of those they love, they remove some of the shock they will experience if they die. In retrospective negative visualization, Stoics imagine never having had something that they have lost, replacing feelings of regret at having lost something with feelings of thanks for once having had it. Which is really then just about perspective, like focusing on the good thing, focusing on the good part of it, which means focusing on, you had this person, you had this particular thing, you had it, and not feeling like, I've lost it now and everything is bad and whatsoever. I do understand that it is just something completely different when it is about a person, when it is just like, somebody died and it was just a pretty close person to you. It is something different, It's still just things about it more as, objects and other things at my point of view. But it is a great way. And I also like the way to actually be grateful for things by visualizing not having it. I'm super duper glad right now that I'm actually able to sit here, put out what I'm thinking about and put out what I want to share. And what I want to share, and this is something that I've just truly seen in the past few days, is that I just do want to fucking spread positivity and happiness, and I want to let people feel good about themselves, about the world, hopefully, even though this is just a pretty tough thing, I guess. But I do just want to have the happiness. I do just want to provide happiness. I'm still gonna just trying to do that, I guess. I guess it also has something to do with the things that I'm putting out in terms of, the quality, in terms of me in the things. And, I do believe that I want to do this. I really want to see people happy. I don't want to see people crying or feeling bad or whatsoever. I want to see happy fucking people. Something that I just, very important for me, I'd say. Let's move on with the next one, actually, which is on overcoming anger. Anger is something, if you haven't known or if you don't know, something that I pretty much struggle with, because something that I deeply kind of struggle with. I don't know why, but I'm a super angry person often. Like, especially when some things do not work out as I want them to work out, or work as I do want them to work. Like, I don't know, like when something is not working with certain things, whether it be programs, whether it be just in sports, for example, as well, I'm just really getting angry, which is sometimes even good, to be honest. Well, there's not only just negative kind of aspects correlated to me being angry and whatsoever. There's also just some positive shit, I would say, at least. Should I actually do it more like this? Well, it doesn't make any difference. Thanks. But yeah, let's actually see what they're saying. So Seneca says that the things that anger us generally don't do us any real harm. They're instead mere or mere annoyances. However, when we get angry over little things, we transform small annoyances into tranquility, shattering agitation. Just because things don't turn out the way you want them to, it doesn't follow that someone has done you an injustice. Fight your tendency to believe the worst about others and their motivations. Marcus Aurelius advises that we contemplate the impermanence of the world around us. Many of the things that trigger us in the grand scheme of things, they don't matter. Actually, I think 99% of what we're doing, of what we're thinking about, of what happens, is actually something that doesn't quite matter. It really does not. Just because it does not matter, at my point of view at least. Something that I've heard also quite often from Gary Vee and also D-Rock, his cameraman, which is, by the way, an amazing person. If you don't follow D-Rock on Instagram, it is quite a pretty nice chance to actually get a lot of information, get a lot of insights into what those people and or just the high achievers and the high performers, I would say, what they're doing, what they're thinking about, because he's regularly asking people to ask him questions, which is amazing. Which is really amazing, because you can probably get an answer for a question that you always wanted to ask someone that knows shit about various types of things. But yeah, this is gonna be the end of the episode. I do really like the light that I'm having right here, because it's just really like contrasty. It just really is good. It really is. I'm just really feeling good ending this episode right there. I don't know why, but it just really feels good, and I'm really kind of satisfied with the product and with what it turned out to be. But yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. I wish you the best health, happiness, and success, and I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you going to be remembered. So basically your legacy, because we totally have it in our control. It is in your hands. It is in our hands. Still, something that I always want to point out is that we can't serve everyone. We can't make everyone happy, and not everyone's going to like us, and not everyone is going to love us just because it is what it is. But yeah, with that being said, I see you soon. Thanks again for watching and listening. Please subscribe, and I see you. And liking is always just a pretty nice damn thing to have. But yeah, I see you the next time. Thanks.